Welcome to A Perfect Perception, the podcast where it's okay to be selfish. I'm Tanya, your host, and I'm here to guide you on a journey of self-discovery and empowerment. Okay, so now we're going to talk about why. Tanya, why in the world did you start this podcast? Well, I started it because there are so many of us who just don't think about ourselves. As a matter of fact, we think being selfish is a bad thing. It's not. We spend so much of our lives not being selfish and making sure that we were taking care of everybody else that right about now, it should be our time. We should be thinking about ourselves. Sweetheart, let me tell you, I have learned, and I learned what I feel like is the hard way, um, to start really thinking about myself and my husband. Right? So now it's us. My husband's my best friend. So when we're doing stuff, or if I want to do something, he's the person I want to do it with. One, he understands me. So at those times that I just want to be by myself and I just kind of want to roam by myself, he doesn't feel some kind of way because he knows that's how I am. Like I'll go and get lost and sit by myself, not for any other reason than just to sit back and woosah and reflect on me and just give me some me time. And he has absolutely no problems with that. And not, and when we had kids at home, we didn't have that. No, like we didn't have that. Like you had to do different things. My kids still talk about now. I was one of those moms, and I know my girls of color might talk about me, but I was one of those moms. So I cooked every day, and I cooked every day. We did not eat leftovers. I cooked every day. Three-course meal. My kids had three courses every day, but they also never got sick. I can count on one hand how many times my kids got sick and had to miss anything because they ate balanced meals. I made sure I took as good a care of them as I could. Um, but that was then. Those days are over. Now they're still talking about that because I used to always tell them that everything we did is we're creating memories. Like, I want y'all to look back if anything ever were to happen to me. I want y'all to look back and say, remember when mama did this? Remember when mama did that? Remember when mama took us to do this and do that and do this? Well, those days are over. I'm an empty nester. So now I want to be the one that's sitting there old and decrepit thinking about, dang, I remember when I did. And if somebody says, um, have you ever been to, I want to be one of those people that can say, yep, yep, been there, done that, been there, done that, been there, done that. And that is just my goal now, for a lot of reasons. So I'm gonna share a story with you guys, and they're not really stories; they're actual things that happened to me. Okay, so one of the first things that happened is a few years ago, my husband had a heart attack, dropped dead at the car wash, y'all. Dropped dead at the car wash. A friend of ours saw him and thought he just needed some help with the truck he was in. Thank God he did because he knew CPR and he brought my husband back. Awesome. So here I am, almost a widow, almost a widow. That wasn't planned. I had just texted him to tell him to pick something up from the store because I was cooking. And to find that out, yeah. Then, let's see, this is 2 years ago. Our house burned down. I'm in the bed, heading off to sleep, start smelling smoke. The alarm started going off. So y'all, if you don't do anything else, keep your smoke detectors with batteries and stuff. It started going off, and I woke up. Those fire people just let our house burn down though. We live out in a neighborhood where it just is what it is. They let it burn. It didn't have to be what it was, but it is what it is. So, but that's that. Then to make matters worse, insurance only paid us enough to pay the house on. So now we own land that doesn't have a house on it. And so just trying to navigate building a house and that kind of stuff. Just so last year, last April, that's when it kicked in for me. We lost our house in January of 23. In January, April of 24, I said no more. Time to be selfish. No more. And so I do whatever it is I'm gonna do. Whatever it is I'm gonna do, I'm doing it. Now, don't get me wrong, because I still work my business and I'm still growing my business, and I'm growing it. Yeah, and that's what it is. Because I know I'm not the traditional retirement type chick. I don't want to be somebody who sits around at home watching TV, or like my neighbor, sit around at home and figure out how evil she can be. I don't want to be that person. I want to be somebody who stays active for as long as I can, for as long as I can. Here's the reason I picked the demographic I picked, because it's my demographic, the 50 plus, and I think we are sometimes a forgotten breed, though we're the ones who just took care of the breeds that's coming up behind us. Sometimes even as if you're a grandmother, I'm not a grandmother yet, but if you're a grandmother, you sometimes end up taking care of your kids, and you already raised your kids. Where they do that at? Not in this house. So that's one of the reasons. I mean, those were the two major reasons that I started doing things differently, and that I have redefined what selfish is. Because it's not selfish in the traditional way. What it is, though, is being selfish enough to take care of you and not be somebody who hinders yourself from experiencing things, from doing some things, from um, putting yourself first for some things. I got to the point where and thank God I have really, really, really good boys. I really do. I cannot hate, complain, nothing. They are really good boys. For the most part. Don't get me wrong, because everybody has their whatever with kids. I mean, you don't always have everything straight, but for the most part, I have really, really good boys. And so, like, for our anniversary, they do stuff like pay for our flights. And I ain't talking about flights and coach either. They pay for our flights. Um, and without complaint. And so one of the things that I think about when I think of us being selfish is not being selfish, again, in the sense that, in a negative sense where don't nobody else matter. I'm selfish. But being selfish in a way where you are taking care of yourself now. You spent a lot of time being selfless. Now it's about time that you are selfish. And all that means is you are now taking care of yourself, putting forth some effort to do some stuff for you now, to put you first now. Those three-course meals are for you now. Now, I don't eat like that now, but those three-course meals are for you now. And saying that in the sense of the nutritional values, you're taking care of yourself, our wealth, our health, our wellness, our mental health, all of that matters so much more now. Not that it didn't matter then, but so much more now. There are so many people who go into like a depressed state because they retired and they have nothing to do with themselves. They didn't even plan for something to do with themselves. Everybody's so ready to retire. I don't understand that. I- my saying about retirement, my go-to for retirement is retirement's for lazy people. So if you don't have nothing to do with yourself, retirement is for lazy people. So when you retire, realistically, and you're somebody who doesn't have anything to do with yourself, what was the point? You set yourself up to sit around and wait to die. Yeah, I'll pass on that. And I hope you will too. Now, the people that I do admire are the people who say they retired, but they retired the right way. Because guess what? They either traveling the world, they found something else to do with themselves, they started a business. It is never too late to start a business. It is never too late to start doing something for you. Never, 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 unless you're dead. And then you can't. So that is why I started this podcast. That is another one of the main reasons for starting this podcast. Y'all, life is too short. And once you reach 50 and above, it's time out for the foolishness and time on for us and taking care of ourselves, as well as, no, better than we took care of our children. We don't know how many years we have left. And let's be clear, they can say 50 is the new 30 all they want to. 50 is the same old 50. We just handle ourselves better and sometimes even look better than some of these 30-year-olds. Child, sometimes I just don't understand. I'm like, what was her name? MC Light. I cram to understand sometimes what I see in a 30-year-old. Like, like really? Like you came out the house like that? Okay, so I digress. But I believe that right now is the time for you to become selfish. All about you. All about you. When the important stuff comes, you don't know what to do. Let's be clear. You're not new to this, you're true to this. So all about you. I see nothing wrong with it. Sorry, Charlie. I don't. So I am asking that you kind of reflect on selfishness. Think about the positive way selfishness can help you. Think about like we're big, a lot of us have gotten big on our mental health, especially. We don't want to allow anything or anybody in our space that is going to damage it. That's part of being selfish, even if you didn't think of it like that, but it is. That's selfishness. It's a good selfish, right? You have decided that you will not allow anybody or anything to disrupt your peace. So that's selfish. What else? When we think of selfish, what else? Okay, so I am going. So you say to yourself, okay, wait, I think today I'm gonna go and get a massage. I think I want to go get a massage. And I ain't answering no darn phone. Ring her off, massage ready. That's selfish. It's a good selfish, but it's selfish nonetheless. So I want us to stop putting a stigma on being selfish. We do it more than we think anyway, but I want us to consciously be selfish. Consciously be selfish. Take into consideration you, what makes you happy, what things help you to relax, what things are important to you. It's all selfish, but but it's selfish in a good way. And sometimes we need just that kind of selfish, something that is all about us. So y'all, this is just my first episode. I was told like I am part of the morning meetup group. I will put that down in the description, so you can join us. And one of the first things that they challenge you to do, and I'm talking about when I tell you it's the best community you can ever join, And when I tell you on the first day, they welcome you, and it's like you just are put into a family. Now, let's be clear, because I'm talking about you are fair game. They will get on you, and not in a bad way, but they will joke about you and they really pull you into the family. So I'm gonna put that link down in the description. And I think it's a group that if you come in and you give them a chance, you'll be motivated to do some things. I'm motivated right now to do a podcast. Child, that was not on my agenda. Okay. I just happened to be listening today on the morning meetup today. And they were talking about starting a podcast. And I said, well, I wanna, well, I'm gonna start one. And I already had a perfect perception. I used to work with people on like self-esteem issues and that kind of thing with a perfect perception. So I just flipped the scripts and decided that I'm gonna work with us under the same name. So check out the morning meetup. But y'all, please subscribe to my channel, and I am going to be more consistent at doing this, and it'll more than likely be on Thursdays at around 8 o'clock. I am going to either be posting a video or going live on a video. But it will fluctuate, but it will be a consistent 8 o'clock time for either or. And I want y'all to start joining me. I am going to try to start even interviewing some people, and we will all be talking what it means to be selfish. I'll have some different topics on selfishness, and we're just gonna move forward from here. Now I know this first one's gonna suck. David Shands told me the first one was gonna suck. He told us all, but that's all right. It gave me a chance to kind of get my feet wet, get some things out, and hopefully not scare y'all away, and you want to come back and we talk some more. All right, y'all. Well, this concludes the first episode of Perception and the It's Okay to Be Selfish podcast. I will see y'all next week on Thursday. Either way, I'll be here on Thursday. See y'all.